Many foreign travelers endow with significant information regarding the economic, cultural, political and social life of the empire. The first European visitor to Vijayanagara, Niccolo Conti, 1421 to 22, gives a vivid account of the city of Vijayanagara, its court, customs, currency, festivals and other matters. Abdul Razak says, "The city of Vijayanagara is such that the pupil of the eye has never seen a place like it, and the ear of intelligence has never been informed that there existed anything equal to it in the world." The Varaha, the boar, an avatar of Lord Vishnu, was the Rajalanchana or state emblem of the Vijayanagara Empire. Just above the head of the boar, the moon image in the form of a crescent and dagger. The most popular ruler of the erstwhile Vijayanagara Empire, Krishnadevaraya, was the third ruler of the Tuluva dynasty. Krishnadevaraya was born to Nagala Devi and to Tuluva Barasanayaka. He ascended the throne in 1509. He was crowned during the turbulent times and spent the first few years of his reign battling and in different conquests to consolidate the kingdom. Known as a successful soldier and a very good administrator, Krishnadevaraya was an ambitious king. Krishnadevaraya encouraged literature, music, art, architecture and other cultural forms. Sangeeta Sahitya Sangeeta Sangeeta Sahitya Nritya Shilpadi Kalalaku Shri Krishnaraya Bhupa Shri Krishnaraya Bhupa. Krishnadevaraya was proficient in Sanskrit, Kannada and Telugu, and a work of poetry called Amukta Malyada in Telugu. Rare qualities of Krishnadevaraya inspired the coinage of many epithets to praise him. Vyasaraya, Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa lived in his time. Navaratna Khajita Simhasana Dipa Navaratna Khajita Simhasana Dipa Shri Krishnaraya Bhupa Shri Krishnaraya Bhupa.
Hampi in the Deccan Plateau, located strategically on the banks of river Tungabhadra and surrounded by rocky hill ranges, also aptly called the city carved in stone, is an outstanding location of natural landscape and archaeological remains. The ruins of Hampi lie scattered in an approximately 26 square kilometer area. The structures at Hampi consist of defense, religious and secular architecture.
Sasvekalu Ganesha. Sasvekalu Ganesha, located on the southern side of Hemakutta Hill, is a four-handed giant statue of Ganesha. The monolith statue, carved out of a huge boulder, measures about 2.4 meters in height. An open pavilion is built around the statue. According to the inscriptions found, this was built by a trader who dealt in the trade of sesame, called as Sasvekalu in Kannada, and hence the name Sasvekalu Ganesha. This was built in the year 1506 AD in memory of the Vijayanagara king Narasimha II.
Talarigatta Gate was one of the main entrance points into the urban center of the capital from the riverside. This largely damaged structure still maintains its original intent, a gateway on the main road. It is possible to reach the top area of this gateway. From the top, traces of the extending fortifications are visible.
Virupaksha Temple. The oldest shrine, still in active worship, the Virupaksha Temple is consecrated to Lord Shiva as the consort of Pampa. The Sangama dynasty transformed the shrine into a major religious monument. The Tuluvas greatly extended Virupaksha Temple. This temple has 3 towers. The bigger one on the eastern tower rises to a height of 160 feet and is 9-tiered. It dates back to the first half of the 15th century and was renovated in the 16th century by Krishnadevaraya. The inner prakara consists of shrines and pillars dating back to the 12th century. The presiding deity here is Virupakshishwara or Pampapati. Achyutaraya Temple. The steps near the Nandi at the east of Hampi Bazaar leads to the Achyutaraya Temple. Achyutaraya Temple was built by Tirumala Deva, an officer under the king Achyutaraya. The temple is exemplarily constructed in a distinct style of architectural and sculptural art of the Vijayanagara Empire in 1534. The temple complex and the market, which is in ruins, sits in a semi-made valley. Between 2 rectangular concentric courtyards is the main shrine dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Vijaya Vittala Temple. Situated northeast of Hampi, close to the market, it leads to the most extravagant architecture with exceptional craftsmanship, the sprawling campus of the Vijaya Vittala Temple. The main entrance is through the Gopuram in the eastern side. Vijaya Vittala Temple in the UNESCO World Heritage Site listing describes the temple is indeed in many ways the zenith of the architectural splendor of Hampi. The Kalyana Mandapa is an open-pillared symmetrical mandapa with recessed sides. It is raised on a platform with bas-relief sculptures of ornate designs and a series of elephants and people.
Stone chariot. In the army of exquisite beautiful sights that Hampi has to offer and depicts Karnataka tourism, an icon itself, is the stone chariot or Kallina Ratha as called in Kannada. An iconic monument located in front of Vijaya Vittala Temple, Stone Chariot is a shrine dedicated to Garuda, the official vehicle of Lord Vishnu. Stone Chariot at Hampi is among the 3 most popular chariots, other being in Konark, Orissa and Mahabalipuram.
Rangamandapa. The Rangamandapa is in front of the Vittala temple. Though partially damaged, it is still awe-inspiring. The Rangamandapa is a huge pavilion whose roof is supported by massive columns, which themselves are made up of a cluster of slender pillars. These columns, or monolith pillars, have been carved out of single granite blocks and shows the amount of creativity and art utilized. The creation of the Vijaya Vittala temple is beyond comparison of words themselves. Unmatched craftsmanship, the beautiful dancing girls, carving of birds and animals built into the stone almost comes to life under the touches of one's hand. The entire mandapa has 56 pillars of composite nature, and each one appears to be an independent monument like a dying Gothic monster. The columns rise from massive pedestals and scream upwards into grotesque brackets of enormous proportion.
Can music be played from rocks? The answer is here. It turns out that ancient Indian architects were so obsessed by the idea that they ended up by creating a stone temple whose columns produce musical sounds when tapped. What's even more astonishing is that almost every pillar of the temple resonates a different sound. The pillars produce musical tones of tabla, mridanga, veena, damaru, ghatam, bells and conch shells when stuck with the thumb. Lakshmi Narasimha Temple. At midway of the main road, an unpaved path leads to Lakshmi Narasimha statue. The Lakshmi Narasimha statue is one of the most imposing sculptures found in the ruined town of Hampi. The gigantic monolithic statue and the temple housing the statue were built in the year 1528 AD. It was first constructed by Krishna Bhatt during the rule of Krishna Devaraya. The rare 6.7 meter size statue, crafted with great details, has a finely chiseled broad chest. The sculpture portrays Narasimha sitting on the coils of Adishesha, the king of all snakes, which raises behind him with its 7 hoods. It has a lion mask set above the hoods of the Adishesha. The hoods have been beautifully designed to serve as a canopy. Adjacent to the statue of Narasimha is a small stone chamber with a single opening with no ceiling. Inside is the Shivalinga, constantly immersed in a waterbed. The beautiful monolithic linga of 3 meters height is made of black stone.
The Lotus Mahal. The Lotus Mahal is symmetrical in layout with equal projections on 4 sides. It has 2 stories, both with lobed openings in multiple planes, surrounded by elaborate plaster designs.
Elephant Stable. Placed within a short distance of Zenana enclosure, situated in an easily accessible area, is the Gajasale or Elephant Stable. The Elephant Stable is one of the finest examples of Indo-Islamic style of architecture. It is a long building within rectangular shape.
Mahanavami Dibba, Hindi Royal Enclosure Site with full of ruined structures. One of the most eye-catching monuments is the Mahanavami Dibba, the stone platform in 3 tiers, about 12-meter high, with its massive base measuring 35 square meters. It was meant for the Vijayanagara monarch to watch the ceremonial parades during the festival, especially the famous Mahanavami festival, during which the pomp and wealth of the empire was displayed. Stone doors. Located near the Mahanavami Dibba platform in the royal enclosure, one of the prominent remnants of the Vijayanagara period, the remarkable stone doors of around 4 feet by 15 feet height, exquisitely carved out of a single piece of stone, having door bolts and pivot shafts.
Pushkarni or stepped tank. The stepped tank or Pushkarni, made up of green diorite stone with no drain facility, was filled with what is called as the aqueducts. The aqueducts, discovered while digging the ground by the archaeologist, led to the discovery of the tank in the year 1985. The stepped tank is constructed using finely finished blocks of black schist stones. The chain of aqueducts that were used to bring water to fill the tank is evident from the remains, which serves as a reminder of the water wisdom of the Vijayanagara rulers.
Queen's Bath. Located close to the royal enclosure is the Queen's Bath, a colossal bath that exemplifies the architectural excellence prevalent during the days of the Vijayanagara Empire, believed to be constructed by Achyutaraya for the women of the royal family. Though named as the Queen's Bath, it was in all probability used as a private bathing chamber. The Queen's Bath is an elaborate structure with a simple exterior and ornate interior built in the Indo-Islamic style of architecture. The rectangular building has an area of 30 square meters. The bath is surrounded by beautiful arched corridors, having pillars and projecting ornate balconies with windows.
Anjanadri Hills. Located at a distance of about 5 kilometers from the historical site of Hampi, surrounded by lovely plantain and paddy fields, is the Anjanadri Hills or Anjani Parvat. Considered to be the site of the monkey kingdom Kishkinda mentioned in the epic Ramayana, it is believed that Lord Hanuman was born at this place. View from the hilltop is marvelous. The rugged rocky mountains, the mighty Tungabhadra river, and the patches of paddy fields look like a solved jigsaw puzzle.
Tungabhadra River. The river Tungabhadra, a holy river in the southern Indian peninsula that flows from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, was earlier known by the name Pampa. Owing to the rocky terrain, the river takes a number of twists and turns. It has immense significance in forming the political and religious history of Hampi. Along with the boulders, it prevented invading armies to cross the river, leading them to sure defeat. On the banks of the river are numerous shrines and idols.
Battle of Talikota or Rakkasatangadagi. In the year 1565 AD, an intense battle was fought between the forces of Aliya Ramaraya, the son-in-law of Krishnadevaraya, and that of the Deccan Sultanates, Bijapur, Bidar, Ahmednagar, Golconda, and Berar Sultanates. The Battle of Talikota was a decisive battle in the history of Vijayanagara Empire, which was fought between the villages of Rakkasagi and Tangadagi near Talikota. Hence, it was called the Battle of Talikota or Rakkasatangadagi.
Aliya Ramaraya, though old, mobilized a huge force that included war elephants, horses, and foot soldiers. The battle seems to have been decided by the Muslim artillery, which were manned by mercenary gunners from Turkestan, who were the best at artillery warfare, and the betrayal of two commanders, the Gilani brothers of the Vijayanagara army, at a key point. Aliya Ramaraya was not intimidated, however. He advanced, sitting in a palanquin carried by the foot soldiers, yelling orders to his army and throwing bounties to the brave soldiers.
Unfortunately, an elephant belonging to the Nizam Shahi became wild and dashed towards the palanquin bearers. Before he could recover, he was bound by ropes and taken to the Nizam Shahi camp, and finally he was beheaded. His severed head, attached to a spear, was taken for a stroll along the battleground.
Tirumala Deva, seeing the rout, fled to Vijayanagara, and taking up the treasury on elephants, he fled south towards Penukonda. The Nizam Shahi troops entered the city, looted, plundered, and destroyed the city. The glory that was scripted by the tapas of Maharshi Vidyaranya and ably executed by the intrepid gallantry of Harihara Bukka and the glorious regime of Krishnadevaraya collapsed, which was swift, sudden, and total. The period of Vijayanagara Empire is considered an age of prosperity. Vijayanagara Empire created an epoch in South Indian history that transcended regionalism by promoting Hinduism as a unifying factor. Religious tolerance was shown towards everyone. Muslims were also employed in the administration. The king enjoyed absolute authority in executive, judicial, and legislative matters. The army was well organized and efficient. The Vijayanagara Empire was one of the wealthiest parts of the world, and it was during the Vijayanagara rule. The chief characteristics of the Vijayanagara architecture were the construction of the tall Raya Gopurams or gateways and the Kalyana Mantapas. Hampi, this amazing piece of history, which still braves the hot dry winds that sweep across the river Tungabhadra, still stands strong today, although much of it is in ruins. The empire is long gone, its relics scattered across a breathtaking boulder-strewn landscape, desolate ruins, but Hampi stones, those chiseled by man into intricate divine forms, as well as those worn smooth by the elements, whisper stories. And it is the stories that imbue these ruins with magic that appears to have left as much an imprint on our subconscious mind. The beauty of the grand civilization would never really fade away.
Hampi definitely will mesmerize to make you discover and rediscover your many selves and live out to liberate your mind, energize your body, set your spirit on fire and inspire your soul. These peerless wonders are eloquent reminder of rich heritage. Nowhere else can one find such a profusion of monuments in Hampi. A visit to Hampi is a journey into the past.
ಬಾರಿಸು ಕನ್ನಡ ಡಿಂಡಿಮವ. ದೂರದರ್ಶನ ಚಂದನ. ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡ ವಾಹಿನಿ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋಮಿಯೋಪತಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಜೀವನಿ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿತ್ ವಿನಯ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಂದಿನ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಪಿಸಿಒಡಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳಕು ಚೆಲ್ಲುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಪಾತ್ರ ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ದೈಹಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ದೈಹಿಕ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ದೈಹಿಕ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ದೈಹಿಕ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಆದರೆ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಜೀವನ ಶೈಲಿಯಿಂದಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನ ಮಿತಿಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಋತುಮತಿಯಾದಾಗಿನಿಂದ ಋತುಚಕ್ರ ನಿಲ್ಲುವವರೆಗಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಚಕ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳನ್ನ ಕಾಡುವ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಿಸಿಒಡಿ. ಪಿಸಿಒಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂಡಾಶಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣುವಂಥ ನೀರಿನ ಗುಳ್ಳೆ, ತೂಕ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುವುದು, ಮುಟ್ಟಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ, ತಲೆ ಕೂದಲು ಉದುರುವುದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಿಸಿಒಡಿ ರೋಗದ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದಂಪತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗದೇ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಕಾರಣ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಿಸಿಒಡಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರನೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಔಷಧಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಜೀವನ ಪರ್ಯಂತ ಔಷಧಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾನೇ ಇರಬೇಕಾ? ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗೆ ಶರಣಾಗಬೇಕಾ? ಇಂಥ ಆತಂಕಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನು ಚೆಲ್ಲೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಗೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಮೂಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೈದ್ಯಶಾಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್ಕಿನ ಖ್ಯಾತ ವೈದ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ವಪ್ನಾಲಿ ಅವರು ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ವಪ್ನಾಲಿ ಅವರೇ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಮಗೆ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಅದರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ಏನು?
ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳರಿಂದ ವಯಸ್ಕರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹಲವಾರು ಥರದ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಸಮತೋಲನೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೆಸೆಂಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗಿಂದ ಕೊನೆವರೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಅಂಗದಿಂದ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರಣ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಸಮತೋಲನೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಸಮತೋಲನೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳಂತ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಸಲ್ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ರೇಟ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ತುಂಬ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಜೀರ್ಣಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮೂರನೇದಾಗಿ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಈ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗಿಂದನೂ ಅಥವಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮದುವೆ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ಸೀವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ತುಂಬ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಜೀರ್ಣಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಬರೀ ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಹಲವಾರು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳು, ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಾನಸಿಕವಾಗಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಬಾಡಿ ವೇಟ್ ದಿನೇ ದಿನೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಹೇರ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಬೇಗನೆ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪೇನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಪವರ್ ಬೇಗ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಖಿನ್ನತೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮೂಡ್ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಬೇಗ ಇರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಬೇಗ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಗ ಭಯ ಪಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆದಾಗ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬರ್ಬೋದು.
ಸ್ವಪ್ನಾಲಿ ಅವರೇ, ಒಂದು ಕರೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಹಲೋ,
ಹಲೋ,
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು?
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಅಂತ.
ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು?